Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to offer today, since this is the first official meeting since the verdict in Officer Brelo's trial, the first opportunity for me to officially comment about what happened with the verdict, as well as my opportunity to express to all of you here what I may feel to be the opinions and beliefs of those who elected me to come down here and represent their interests. I have had conversations, I have been in meetings, and we've had discussions. By no means have I talked to all of the 20,000 plus folks, but having been a resident and grown up in this neighborhood, I feel comfortable to share with you tonight my thoughts. Some are ready to move on. They say respect the verdict and move on. But it is my responsibility, I think, to express to you how I don't respect the verdict. See, for my legal training, I sat through the trial and I watched streaming when I couldn't make the trial. I was in the courtroom when the judge went through his presentation about the trajectory of the shots. Something was problematic in his analysis, and then recently this week, a professor from CSU helped to define it the way I thought was a problem. He said that the decision by Judge O'Donnell to say that the causation of the death of Timothy Russell and Melissa Williams was not solely caused by Officer Brelo, but for a test. The but-for test that the U.S. Supreme Court says is what you're usually supposed to use. But when there are multiple shooters, when there are special circumstances, the but-for test is inadequate. And the professor said in his opinion piece on Cleveland.com on the 29th, that when there are simultaneous shooters, each one said to be causing the kill shot, then each one actually caused the death of the victim, each one. Voluntary manslaughter requires that you actually cause the death of someone. So Judge O'Donnell's but-for test that came to the conclusion that Officer Brelo did not shoot the kill shot himself, therefore not being the only person causing the death, he felt Officer Brelo was not guilty of voluntary manslaughter. But the Supreme Court said otherwise, and the law professor persuasively explained to us that the but-for test was not the right test when you have multiple shooters. But the professor also said that because the judge determined that Officer Brelo feared for his life on top of the hood, it doesn't really matter because the verdict would not change because it's justifiable with an affirmative defense that even if I caused the death, even if I was one of two or three or four that actually caused the death, I feared for my life, and therefore what I do after that is acceptable. There are many of us who feel that when you jump on the hood of a car in broad and opening up yourself to everyone, actually when your colleagues stop and only 3 shots or 3 echoes are heard, but 15 of the 18 shots are attributed to you, but despite the fact you're on the hood, on top of the windshield, you still fear for your life. There is a certain level of ridiculousness on that. Amen. Give me a break. Amen. The others stayed hidden and protected, but Officer Brelo stepped on the hood, shot in the windshield, and then argued. First of all, he said, I don't remember being up there in the trial. He don't remember being up there, but he feared for his life. But he don't remember being on the hood. What I'm simply saying here to you, I don't respect the verdict because it's not a sound analysis to the average reasonable person, at least in my community. You don't do what he did out of fear, you do it out of vengeance. So he's let go. So, you know, the prosecutor is appealing whether it should have been felony assault or attempted voluntary manslaughter. But so when it's all said and done, the verdict may stand. I just want to, on this floor, articulate why I don't respect the verdict, and I do it from a legal analysis, not just an emotional analysis. Now, let me tell you about the court of public opinion. They look not just at what happened on the hood, they look at what happened on Lakeside, West Side, Freeway, East Cleveland. And that's what my folks look at. They look at the hysteria that was caused by the police to themselves, create fear in their own mind based on what they said they saw that they never saw. They created their own fear in their mind, which gave them the ability to do what they did and walk away. They created it. Melissa and Timothy had no gun. Melissa and Timothy never shot at them. Melissa and Timothy never threatened them. When they drove to escape, it was not an attempt to run down a police officer, it was to escape. So what is the implications? Is that if they can do that, the implication of the Brelo verdict, if they can do that, even a consent decree in and of itself doesn't speak to this notion of being able to say, I fear for my life, and then shoot you and then be found exonerated. This is the most extreme case of the misuse of the fear for my life defense, affirmative defense. Unacceptable. We got to continue to protest in the streets so that it does not happen again. Tamir Rice, Tanisha Anderson is coming down the pipe. But don't ask me to respect a verdict that doesn't make sense. And don't expect my residents to accept what happened because it was unfair, unjustified, and simply wrong. Thank you, Mr. President.